today I will tell you how you can make money selling your old clothes online. Yep, you heard me right. Those clothes just sitting in your closet, collecting dust, can actually put some extra cash in your pocket. Let's jump right into it, and I'll walk you through the best ways to turn your closet into your cash. First things first, you need to start with what you already have. Open up your wardrobe and be brutally honest. If you haven't worn something in the last year, it's time to part ways with it. Sure, that dress might hold sentimental value, but if it's been untouched for months, it's probably time to give it a new home. Trust me, it's a win-win. You free up space and you get paid. Go through every piece in your closet. Your old jeans, the jacket you swore you'd wear again but didn't, even those accessories you haven't touched in ages. Make a pile of things you're ready to sell and set them aside. That's a step one. Easy, right? But here's a little extra tip. If you having trouble parting ways with something, use that 1-year rule. Let it go if you haven't worn it in a full year. This makes it easier to make those tough decisions and help you declutter faster. Now, before you snap a picture and throw your closets online, take a second to do some research. Only some things will sell for top dollar, and you want to know what's actually selling. Hop on platforms like eBay, Depop, or Poshmark and search for items similar to what you have. Look at how much they are selling for. Are there a specific brand or type of clothing that are flying off in digital shelves? People are more likely to buy clothes from brands they know and trust. You might be sitting on a gold mine if you've got some Nikes, Adidas, or Levi's lying around. And don't forget vintage. Vintage clothes are having a major comeback. You are in luck if you've got anything from 80s or 90s. Also, check for trends. For example, oversized jacket, retro sneakers, and graphic tees are hot. So, if you've got any of those style, you are in for a treat. No trending categories and focus on selling items that fall into those groups. Next, pick the right platform. There are a ton of platforms out there for selling clothes, and each of them is a little different. Let's break it down with Poshmark. Super popular in the US and great for clothes that are in good condition and from recognizable brands. It's also easy to use. You just list your items, and Poshmark sends you a prepaid shipping label when they sell. Easy peasy. Depop. This one is all about the cool, trendy stuff. If you've got vintage pieces or anything unique, Depop is the place to be. It's where all the fashion-forward folks hanging out. eBay. This is great if you want to reach a global audience. Plus, you can auction your items, sometimes increasing the price. Vinted. Another solid option, especially in Europe. Vintage is great because it doesn't charge seller's fee, so you keep more earnings. If you're new to reselling, I advise listing items on a couple of different platforms. It's a good way to see which one works best for this type of clothes that you are selling. Plus, the more platforms you list on, the more chances you have to make sales. Then take killer photos. This step is the key. When selling clothes online, your photos are everything. Buyers can't feel or try on clothes, so the picture must do all the talking. The goal is to make your clothes look as appealing as possible. Here's how to do that. Find good lighting. Natural light is your best friend. If possible, take photos near a window or outside. Use a plain background. Keep it simple. A white wall or a clean sheet work wonders. Show all angles, front, back, and a close-up of any details, like zippers or logos. If there are any flaws, be honest. Show those too. Model it if you can. Try modeling clothes yourself to see if they still fit. It helps buyers see how the item looks on a real person. Highlight key features. Got a jacket with a cool patch or the sleeve? show it off. Maybe a pair of jeans with unique stitching. Get a close-up shot of that detail. Photos make all the difference. The better your photos, the faster your item will sell. Don't be afraid to get creative with your shots as long as they clear and accurately represent the product. The next step is to write a great description. You don't need to write a novel, but you do need to include all the important details. Start with the basics: brand, size, color, and condition. Mention if the item has been worn a lot or is it new. Add some keywords that people might search for. For example, suppose you're selling a vintage Levi's jacket. In that case, you might want to say something like vintage Levi's denim jacket, size medium, light warm, perfect for layering. The more detailed you are, the easier it is for buyers to find your items. Also, make sure you are being accurate. If the short has a small hole or stain, mention it. It's better to upfront about imperfections than have a buyer return the items because they felt misled. Next, price it right. Pricing can be tricky. You want to make a good profit, but you also don't want to price your items so high that no one buys them. This is where your research from earlier comes in handy. Look at the similar items and price yours competitively. You can price it higher if it's a brand new piece with tags still on it. But if it's worn or has flaws, you need to lower the price. A good rule is to price the item at around 50 to 70% of what you paid for them, depending on the condition. Pro tip: don't be afraid to accept offers. Most platforms allow buyers to make an offer, which you can either accept or counter-offer. Negotiating is part of the fun. Consider offering discounts for bundles. You can knock off a few bucks if someone buys 2 or more items. It's a great way to encourage buyers to purchase multiple items from you at once. And as soon as your item sells, it's time to ship it. Most platforms like Poshmark or eBay will send a prepaid shipping label, so all you need to do is pack it up and drop it off at the post office. Easy, right? Make sure to package your items nicely. Even wrapping them in tissue paper adds a personal touch. You want your buyers to have a great unboxing experience, so they will leave you a glowing review. You can also add a thank you note inside the package. It doesn't have to be anything fancy, just a small gesture to show appreciation. Little touch like this can make a big difference in encouraging repeated buyers. Next, stay organized. If you start selling many clothes, things can get chaotic pretty fast. The last thing you want is to sell something and then be unable to find it. Set up a system to keep your clothes organized. Whether it's bins, boxes, or dedicated sections in your closet, staying organized will save you a lot of headache. You can also keep a spreadsheet to track what's listed, what's sold, and what still needs to be shipped. This will help you stay on top of everything, especially if you juggle sales across multiple platforms. Pro tip: use clear storage bins and label them with the type of clothing inside. That way, when something sells, you'll know exactly where to find it. Remember, be patient. This one is important. Not everything will sell immediately. Sometimes an item takes a few days, weeks, or even months to sell. Don't get discouraged if things don't fly off the shelves immediately. Just keep listing new items, and eventually sales will come. And remember, the more active you are on these platforms, the more likely are to make sales. Share your listings, update your photos if needed, and stay engaged. Relisting items every few weeks can help refresh your listings and bring them back to the top of the search results. This is especially helpful on platforms like Depop, where older listings can get buried over time. Reinvest and grow. Once you have sold your first batch of clothes, it's time to reinvest. Take your money and use it to buy more clothes to sell. Hit up thrift stores, estate sales, or Facebook Marketplace to find new inventory. As you get more experienced, you'll learn what sells best and where to find the best deals. Before you know it, you'll have a mini clothing empire. Look for sales at your favorite store. Sometimes you can score brand new item at a fraction of the original price and flip them for a profit online. The online resale game is constantly changing. New platforms pop up, trends shift, and buyers' habits evolve. Stay on top of these changes by watching YouTube videos, following successful sellers on Instagram, and reading up on tips and tricks from other resellers. The more you learn, the more successful you will be. So, what are you waiting for? Start listing those clothes and watch the money roll in. Check out our previous videos here. In it, we share even more ways to hustle and make money online. The Token team is working hard to bring you fresh content every day. So make sure to subscribe and hit that like button. Together, we are going to the top.